Visual Studio is a multifaceted tool that allows you to create, test, and debug applications of many types. Since it is the primary Microsoft development tool, every technology team at the Microsoft campus wants its project type to be part of Visual Studio. That means you'll find dozens of project types available for any scenario you can think of. I've said this before in other videos, but it bears repeating. The free Express editions are great for making projects for one explicit technology. Express for Web is an excellent choice for making HTML pages and ASP.NET sites. Express for Desktop is your choice if you want to build Windows Forms or WPF applications. Express for Windows 8 is the dedicated version for building Windows 8 Store apps. And if you want to tackle the Windows Phone marketplace, get yourself a copy of the Express for Windows Phone. Here is an example of Express for Desktop. Note the different language choices. I can use C# or Visual Basic or Visual C++. Also note the different kinds of desktop applications I can build. Windows Forms, WPF applications, console applications, and class libraries. If you have the Visual Studio 2012 Professional, Premium, or Ultimate editions installed, you have access to over 80 different project types. Just like the Express editions, you get lots of language support, including the newer F# language. Cast your eyes on this screenshot. Look at this giant list of project types available just for the C# language. Let's look at some sample screenshots taken from different UI technologies in .NET. This is a financial dashboard written in Windows Presentation Foundation, or WPF. This earthquake observer is also built on WPF. WPF is the technology for building robust, full-featured desktop apps. This is a beautiful example of what you can do with ASP.NET MVC and third-party jQuery widgets. Sushi is another example from the same control vendor. Silverlight was Microsoft's entry into the rich browser plugin world. Silverlight is an awesome technology that has been slowly bypassed by HTML5 and mobile web apps. Look at all the information packed into this dynamic interactive app. This is a flight tracking application written in Silverlight. Windows Store apps are programs which run on the user's desktop. The key differentiator with these types of apps is that they only run on Windows 8 or Windows RT, and they are only distributed through the Microsoft Store. This is a program called Fresh Paint, a fantastic painting program available in the store. And this is the popular Cut the Rope game. Tons of fun with a cute little froglet. On the more mundane side, here is a Windows 8 weather app. Practical and pretty to look at. Ah yes, let's not forget the phone. Microsoft got inspired with their new phone UI. It's a real winner in my eyes, though not as popular with the rest of the world. Here are 3 examples of apps written in Visual Studio for the phone. Let's look at some more categories before I close the video. This is a list of the available web projects. I've been writing Office automation applications for years. The list of Office project types keeps growing in Visual Studio. Here you can see you can create an add-in for all the major Office tools. You can also build Office documents that contain customized .NET code. Cloud-based infrastructure looks to be a multi-gazillion-dollar industry. Microsoft has teams intensely working on making Azure a big part of the future. You can build Azure services and deploy them from Visual Studio. SharePoint is one of Microsoft's billion-dollar profit centers. That means companies all across the globe are investing in building SharePoint apps. If you want to join the SharePoint crowd, this is where you'll find the projects. Visual Studio is not just for developers, it's also for testers. Here are a few of the testing projects available. What's that, you say? You want to build a service that can be accessed remotely? Microsoft has you covered with Windows Communication Foundation, or WCF project types. I'll bet you didn't know that you can create a SQL Server project in Visual Studio. Now, I'm not talking about using SQL Server or accessing a SQL Server database from your code. SQL Server projects allow you to create a project that defines the schema and sample data for your database. When you compile the project, it makes the database. You get all the goodies available in Visual Studio for this project. For example, storing the project in source control is one benefit. So, if you have an idea for a new feature in Visual Studio, look at the add-in project type. LightSwitch is the newest addition to the Visual Studio family. With LightSwitch, you can build custom applications that rival off-the-shelf solutions. Get a head start by using the pre-configured screen templates that give your application a familiar look and feel. Now you have seen the immense list of project types that are included in Visual Studio. What are you going to make?